All right, let's talk about the electric vehicle maker NIO. And by the way, it's pronounced NIO. They seem to have just hit the accelerator big time. The numbers coming out are telling this wild story of explosive growth, so we're going to dive right into the data and figure out what's really going on.
And you don't have to take my word for it. We're starting right at the top with this quote, a super bold claim from NIO's own CEO. He says the company has entered a new phase of super explosive growth. I mean, that's a huge statement, but is it just hype, or is there something real behind it? Let's find out.
Okay, so let's put the talk aside and look at the proof. In the car world, there's really only one thing that matters at the end of the day: deliveries. And right now, NIO's delivery numbers, well, they're the fuel behind this whole explosive growth story.
So, get a load of this number, 48,135. Just let that sink in. That's how many cars they delivered in December 2025 alone in 1 month. That's an absolutely massive figure, and it blew past what anyone was expecting.
But, a big number by itself doesn't tell the whole story. It's the context that's so wild here. That figure, it's a 54.6% increase compared to the very same month a year earlier. That's not just growth. That's a sign that things are seriously picking up speed.
And this chart right here, it just drives the point home perfectly. So for the whole year of 2025, growth was a really solid 46.9%. Pretty great, right? But then look at just the last quarter, Q4. It just shot up to 71.7% year over year. See what I mean? They're not just growing, they're accelerating. It's like they hit a turbo button.
So when you add it all up for the whole year, the company pushed out a total of over 325,000 cars. And here's the breakdown of how they pulled that off. You've got the main NIO brand, that's their premium line, leading the pack. But then you also have these really strong showings from their other brands, Leaton and Firefly. Everybody's pulling their weight to hit these record numbers.
Okay, so we've seen the what, the crazy numbers, but now for the really interesting part, the how. How in the world did they do it? Well, it all comes down to their pretty clever 3-brand strategy. That's really the engine behind this whole thing.
And this isn't just a one-trick pony, it's a full-on portfolio play. You've got the main NIO brand, right? That's their high-end premium line, and it's on a serious roll with 5 straight months of delivery increases. Then there's Leaton, which just smashed through the 100,000 delivery mark for the first time ever. And finally, you have Firefly, their premium small car, which is proving that that niche is for real. So the growth is coming from everywhere. But look, even on a winning team, there's always that one standout player, right? For NIO, right now, that's the all-new ES8. I mean, the way this model is performing is the perfect example of what happens when demand just catches fire.
Okay, you have to see this. This timeline is just insane. To sell the first 10,000 units, it took them 41 days. Okay, not bad. But then, the next 10,000 took just 29 days. Then it gets faster. The next 10,000 took only 19 days. And then, get this, the last 10,000 flew off the lots in just 11 days. That's what a runaway hit looks like in numbers.
So, to put a big, bold underline on that point, the all-new ES8 is now officially the fastest-selling model in its price range, we're talking cars over about 55 grand, to ever hit 40,000 deliveries. It's not just a success, it's a record breaker.
All right, so cranking out cars is one thing, but to keep this kind of fire going, you need more than that. You need buzz. You need people to be talking about you. So let's shift gears and look at how NIO's creating that excitement outside of the factory.
And look, it hasn't all been a perfect, smooth ride up. Their Le'in brand, which also goes by Envo, actually hit a little bump and saw sales dip from 1 month to the next. But this is what's interesting. Look at how they responded. Not by panicking, but by launching this super aggressive, high-profile marketing push to get the name back out there. And when I say aggressive, I mean it. They're not messing around. They sponsored huge New Year's Eve countdowns on TV, sticking their Envo L90 right in front of millions of people. They're also hitting the streets, hosting live events, giving away free stuff, anything to build that brand awareness from the ground up.
And all this buzz is leading to a really fascinating new trend. It's not just regular folks buying these cars anymore. Now, big companies are getting in on the action. And that, my friends, is a huge signal that your brand has made it. I mean, we're talking about companies, even big restaurant chains, giving away NIO, Envo, and Firefly cars as bonuses to their best employees. Think about that. When your car becomes the ultimate corporate prize, you know you've built something more than just a car. You've built a status symbol.
Okay, so record sales, tons of buzz, it all sounds amazing. But this brings us to the elephant in the room, the question you have to ask with any company growing this fast. Is any of this actually profitable? Are they making money?
And this is where the story gets really juicy. On one hand, you have this wild rumor floating around of a massive $250 million profit in the fourth quarter. Now, on the other hand, the more serious analysts are expecting a loss, but a way smaller loss than before, maybe under $100 million. And honestly, for a company that's been pouring money into growth, shrinking losses that much would be a huge win. The market would absolutely love that.
So, as we wrap up here, there's one more thing we have to talk about. A huge milestone that's just around the corner, and it really puts all of this crazy growth into perspective. Look at this number, 997,592. That's how many cars NIO has delivered in its entire history as of the end of 2025. Just an incredible number, built one car at a time. Do the math on that. That means they are less than 3,000 cars away from hitting 1 million total deliveries. At the speed they're going now, they're going to blow past that milestone any single day. That's a massive, massive moment for any car company.
And it seems like they have no intention of slowing down. We're back to the CEO, who pretty much sees this incredible milestone not as a peak, but as just another step on the ladder. He's saying there's still tremendous growth to happen in 2026. He thinks this whole explosive phase is just getting warmed up.
So, let's recap. We've got record growth that's actually accelerating, we've got a 3-brand strategy that's firing on all cylinders, and they're about to cross the 1 million car mark. NIO isn't just growing, it's leveling up, right before our eyes. So the only real question left to ask is, what's next?